here yet, but if oh, I am live. What is up, everyone? My name is DPhil. I'm David Phillipson here from Alchemy. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you're so early, you got in the first 10 seconds of the stream. Today, we're going to be playing word games and talking about modular accounts. So hopefully, one of those two things interests you. If it does, you're in the right place. Even if it doesn't, thanks for your support. Thanks for showing up. This is my first time streaming. This is exciting for me. I hope I don't say anything that's a huge faux pas in streaming culture, but really appreciate everyone here. So what's going on today? So we're going to play this game Worth of Words that I made. I did it originally as part of a hackathon. Turns out it's a really good way to showcase off modular accounts, which is a huge effort that Alchemy released this week. It's this awesome new way to do smart contract accounts on chain. I'll be talking about that a bit and how we can use it to make games like this. And while we do it, we can get a big game going. Nice thing about Worth of Words is it lets any number of people play at once. So anyone watching this right now, you'll be able to get into the game too if that's something you want to do. Yeah, why don't we get a game started, and I'll send out a link to the lobby so anyone else who wants to join can play. So here we go. Here I am at worthofwords.com. I'm going to create a lobby. So this game is a Wordle Battle Royale game. It's Wordle themed. So the way it's going to work is everybody's going to choose some secret words, and then everyone is going to try to guess everyone else's secret words. All right, so let me send out this link before we get going with anything else. I just pasted a lobby link in chat. Yeah, Cody, if you don't mind, could you help me get that link out to the other platforms? Yeah, so if anyone's interested, join the game. I'm going to wait, let's say, 10 minutes, and then we will start the game. So in the meantime, to talk through what's going on here. So I'm going to enter my player name. I am DPhil. And I'm going to choose two secret words. These are Wordle words, so I can enter in any 5-letter word from a list of fairly well-known words. Yeah, so I can either type in my word or choose from the secret thing here. Got to be an actual word, though. ASDFF is not a word. Yeah, so we'll make sure people have time. Yeah, here's my friend Dennis right here.
Hello.
Yeah, Dennis did a lot of work towards getting modular accounts up and running. He wrote a lot of the SDK that powers this app right here. Couldn't do it without him. Okay, so to choose my words, I'm actually going to hide the words that I'm choosing just so if anybody else is joining the game, you can't get a big leg up on me by seeing my words, because you are going to be guessing these.
Do we talk about the price?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Dennis. There will be a prize if you can manage to win this game. We will be sending you a big old box of swag. We'll have some good stuff in it, some very comfy shirts you don't want to miss out. Yeah, so that's another good reason to join the game. Let me get into this lobby and then I'll talk some more stuff. Yeah, so after you click join lobby, it takes a little bit of time, maybe 10 15 seconds to get in. The reason for that is because as you're joining the lobby, it is generating 0 knowledge proofs to enter the game. So that's one of the interesting things going on in this game. This is a word guessing game, and well, I guess I haven't talked about this yet, but something that's a really big deal about this game is that it is fully decentralized and on-chain. There we go. I'm now in the lobby. Okay, so what does it mean for this game to be on-chain? So all communication between the players here is happening on the blockchain. There is no centralized server at all. We do use some Alchemy services to make a nice, smooth user experience for you, but that's not necessary. You could run this by yourself without depending on any centralized third party. Yeah, good to see some people joining. Yeah, so the fact that this is on chain means that every action you take in this game is causing transactions to be sent, things to be written to the blockchain. And one thing about the blockchain is that everything sent there is public. So anytime I write anything to the blockchain, anyone in the world can see that thing. And that's a big challenge for a game that's based around guessing secret words like this one. I can't put the secret words onto the blockchain. That would mean everyone could just read it off. It'd be super easy to guess the words in that case. So what we do instead is use a fancy cryptography technology called zero knowledge proofs. It's a way that you can prove that something is true, prove that you know something without revealing what that thing is. There's a lot of different applications for it. You see it a lot in new blockchain technologies where people are discovering new ways to do efficient transactions on the blockchain. It also gets used when you're trying to do things with secrecy on chain. You'll see a lot of people talking about ideas they can do with this. For example, you might be able to prove that you went to a certain event without revealing that your identity. So, if there was some kind of prize that you get by having attended an event, you might want to claim that prize, but you might not want to tell everyone in the world that you personally were there. You can do that using zero knowledge proofs. Let's see. Yeah, Elon Musk in chat says, "Is it possible to play the game and follow live at the same time?" Yeah, it is. Definitely feel free to do that. Honored to have you here, Elon Musk. It's been a very high-profile player in this game. Let's see. What's the lobby creation? Asks Sadrekt. Yeah. What's the question you have there? What's happening when we create a lobby? So like every single action that we'll take during this game, when we enter the lobby, it is causing things to happen on blockchain. I would say that it's sending a transaction, although there's actually a bit more going on than that. And from there, we can get into, what's you're asking me to create lobby. Yeah, instead of creating your own lobby, you should join the lobby link. That should be posted in chat a couple times. I can also paste it again for you. There you go, lobby link in chat. Okay, going to start the game in 4 more minutes. Yeah, but to talk this through, yeah, so what's happening here, things are getting written on chain. It's not exactly a transaction that's happening every time you take an action because we are using the magic of account abstraction. So I've been working on the account abstraction team at Alchemy for quite a while at this point. I love account abstraction. I'm really, really excited about it. What you're seeing in this game is something that you can do with account abstraction that you could not do without it on the blockchain. Like you may have noticed that despite everything on this game happening on the blockchain, as I've been telling you, there really was not much in your face telling you about the blockchain, right? Like you didn't need to connect your MetaMask account. You didn't need to go into Coinbase to get some ETH before you could play the game. And that's actually a really big deal for bringing people into the space. Because traditionally, if we wanted someone to get into crypto, we really ask a lot of them. Like what we do is say to them, oh, you want to get onto the blockchain? Well, first thing you got to do is create a private key. And this private key, you have to keep secret for your entire life. You can never forget it ever. You can never change it. And never let anyone else find out about it. And despite the fact that you have to keep it absolutely secret forever, you also have to use this key every single time you take any action, no matter how small. So that's actually kind of unreasonable to ask of people, in my opinion. If that was your security in any other context, then I think most people would tell you it's a terrible idea. But in blockchain, everyone's just kind of been okay with it up until now. So with account abstraction, that doesn't need to be the case. What account abstraction does is it means that your account on the blockchain is a smart contract instead of a standard externally owned account. And smart contracts are programmable, so you can program your own access rules. You can do all kinds of things. You could say, well, for everyday transactions, I'm going to use my password, but if I want to transfer like $5,000 in a single day, then I need to break out a secret key that I keep in a bank vault. I can say, oh, I have this one NFT. It's a family heirloom. It got passed down to me from my grandfather. I really want to make sure I don't lose it, even if my account gets hacked. I can set something up so to transfer my grandfather's NFT, I need to, once again, use a super secret key that's in a bank vault. Or I could say I have to go through a 48-hour waiting period first. All these things are possible with account abstraction. And that's really important for a game like this. It means that you can have the secret key that's in control of your account, which is different from the one that's making all the actions in game. So the in-game actions, they're not like that big a deal, right? If someone hacked your key and could only use it to make moves in the game, sure, that would suck. They might make you look like a bad player, but it wouldn't be that bad. All your other assets are safe. So that's a way you can use account abstraction for something like this. And in particular, we get to use modular accounts to make that really easy. I will talk more about that in a moment, but I think now is about a good time to start the game. Elon Musk asks, why is the game not available on phone? This really sucks. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just ran out of time to implement this. This started off as my Hack Week project. I got as much done as I could during the week. So phone is coming soon, probably in the next week or two. It's very much on the roadmap. One of the challenges with phone is coming up with a good in-game interface. You'll see once we start playing why it's a bit tricky to make something that's mobile friendly for this. Anyways, I'm going to get started with the game. Let's see. And here we go. I'm going to hit begin the battle, and I'll talk through how this game works. All right, so here we go. So this is a Wordle-like game. The way it works is every round you're going to get matched with 3 opponents, and you're going to try to guess a single word that goes against all of them. So for example, if I were to guess pedal, then I'm guessing the same word against all 3 of these people here: GDG, Paolo Almeida, and Toxic Shrew. So let's see. What is a good first word in Wordle? Everybody has their own preferences here for their first word. My dad always likes to guess party as their first word, so I'm going to do that. Love you, Dad. All right, looks like we have a 13-player game. If anyone didn't manage to get into this game, we can start another one after. Yeah, so while time ticks down, I'll talk a little more about modular accounts. So the thing that Alchemy just released this week, I've been telling you about how smart contract accounts are great. They let you produce an interface like this that's totally seamless. This is a fully Web3 app that feels like it's an ordinary web game. And in order to get something like that, you need to have a smart contract account, and you're going to want various features on it. What Alchemy did is they built an account called Modular Account, which is a smart contract account that lets you add and remove plugins to customize the behavior. So instead of just being one hard-coded set of rules, you can customize over time all of the things you want your account to do. In this game, in particular, I'm using what's called a session key plugin that allows me to create a special key that's used only for making moves in this game. And as I said earlier, that means that we can play fast and loose with the session key. Even if it gets lost, it's not a big blow to your account. Someone might make you look like a bad player in the game, but they're not going to be able to take all your money away from you. All right, so time's up. It's going to give a little bit of a grace period if anyone was a little late submitting. But anyway, now it's time to reveal our guesses. So we're going to see everyone's guesses, and then we're going to see the scores against them. Yeah, so what's happening now in the background is more zero knowledge proofs. There's some fancy cryptography happening. I can talk more about that if anyone is curious. Let's see. Still waiting on one player. Yeah, there is a 15-second grace period here in case somebody's computer is a little slower to submit their answer. Something may have gone wrong. Let's move. Huh. Okay, I'm sorry. Something's gone quite wrong this game. Let me see if I can figure out what has happened here. I may need to jump back to an earlier version of this code, unfortunately. If so, we will do that and get in another game. Sorry for anyone who's disappointed here. Yeah, I was trying to make some changes right before this to get some features for this demo here. You know, writing code right before you ship's never a great idea, but sometimes seems like the justified thing to do. Yeah, let me jump back to an earlier version of the code. I'm sorry, everyone. We'll get another game in. Hmm. Let me try this version. What happened there? We may have hit some edge case we weren't expecting, but don't worry, things will work out. So what I'm doing right now is I'm rebuilding from an earlier commit, going to submit this up. There's kind of two components to this. There's the front end here, which is reading from the contracts in the background, and then there are the contracts themselves in the back end. I really hope there's not a problem with the contracts themselves, because that'd be a lot harder to fix on the fly. We have gotten quite a few games in without running into a situation like this before, which makes me feel good that maybe it's a front end glitch. Needing an optimized production build. Let's see. Why would that have happened? There's another possibility. I'd be a little surprised by this, but this is the largest game that we've had so far, the most people in a single game. So it could be there's some limit here. Like, it's possible the blockchain comes under congestion when there's a lot of people submitting things at once. That would be surprising because, 13 is still not that many people. You never know. Redeploying. Just a sec. That's... Here we go. Oh, I know what's happened. My computer's being really slow to compile because I'm streaming at the same time. It's coming off of a laptop here. Not designed to be a heavy-duty streamer's device, but we are uploading now. In a moment, should be able to refresh the page and give it another shot. Okay. All right, let's give that another try. I'm going to refresh the page. We're going to get going. Yeah, I'll send out another lobby link in a moment and give people 5 minutes to join in. All right, new link is in chat. Yeah, new link in chat. Yeah, Cody, can you help me get that one distributed? Again. Okay, once again, I'm going to hide my words while I choose them. Okay, so word one is... Yeah, so joining. Okay, I got my words. Here we go.
Miguel, how is zero knowledge proof used?
Yeah. How are zero knowledge proofs used? So they're used in two places in this game, but the key idea for both of them is that we need to prove things about our secret words without telling people our secret words. That's used in two different ways. So one of them we already saw in joining the lobby, and the other one would be easier to explain once we get some gameplay in. But in order to join the lobby, what we need to do is we need to submit commitments to our secret words, and we need to prove that the things that we're submitting are actual English words and not just a random collection of letters. Like, it wouldn't be fair if someone could submit as their secret word just like A B C D E or something like that. Yeah, thanks for rejoining, everyone. We will start the game, we'll say at 2:39 Pacific time. Not sure where that is for all you watchers. Yeah, so the way that proof works is that wait, hold on 1 second. Looks like there's some discussion right here. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I got some of my coworkers here to say hi.
Hello.
Gabe's cool guy. Alex, cool guy.
Hey, it's generous of you.
Yeah. Okay, so that zero knowledge proof to prove that your words are real English words. So normally on the blockchain, if you want to prove that your word is a real word, the way you would do that is you would use a Merkle tree. The Merkle tree is a data structure that lets you check membership really efficiently on chain. It gets used a lot in the actual blockchain implementations themselves. It's also really useful for something like this, where we have a set of valid words and we want to be able to quickly verify that something is actually a word. The thing is, though, the way you use a Merkle tree is you submit what's called a Merkle proof in order to prove that something is in the Merkle tree. And if you submit a Merkle proof, you're actually revealing what your word is. So if I submitted a Merkle, if my word were like apple, I submitted a Merkle proof that my word is a real word, then everyone would know my word. It would give away my secret. So instead, what I'm doing is submitting a zero knowledge proof that I have a Merkle proof. So we're going like 2 levels deep in proofs here. We're saying we're not going to submit the words themselves. We're not going to submit a proof of the words themselves. We're submitting a proof of a proof that the words are there. So, okay, 1 more minute and we'll start. Probably more like 30 seconds. Yeah, so that's one place zero knowledge proofs get used. The other place that they'll get used is, as we'll see as the game goes on, we're going to make guesses, and then everyone's going to tell each other what parts of their guesses were right or wrong. And when I tell someone else which parts of their guess were right or wrong, they need to be convinced that I'm telling the truth. They need to be sure that I'm not just lying to them and saying it's like, oh, everything was wrong, and then quickly in the background changing around what my secret word is. Once again, zero knowledge proofs are great here. I can prove that I'm telling the truth about what letters are matches without revealing the secret word. Okay, I'm about to start this game. Here we go. Begin the battle. See if this one goes well this time. I hope it does. Okay, so once again, we get to make our initial guess. I'm going to use my dad's favorite starting word, party. And there we go. Okay, so to explain a bit about what's happening in this game, we're all trying to guess each other's secret words. Yeah, if you join the game, you chose 2 secret words as you join the lobby. Right now, everyone's trying to guess everyone's first secret word. So you're going to make a guess, make a single guess against the 3 opponents that you have that one round. And then at the end of the round, everybody's going to find out how correct their guesses were. So you see in the standard Wordle style, you'll see some of these marked as green letters, some of them as yellow letters. And that'll tell you which letters are in the correct positions, which letters are somewhere in the word but in the wrong position, and which letters are not in the word at all. And once that happens, I'll talk a bit more about how that leads to the actual gameplay here. But for this first round, you can think of it as just like the first round of a standard Wordle game. Yeah, if you haven't played Wordle before, it's a pretty fun little diversion. It's a bit of a fad for a while. Now it's part of the New York Times. Let's see. Yeah, so we've had 7 players submit their guesses so far. We're still waiting on another 4. As I mentioned before, everything that people are doing in this game is happening on the blockchain. So when you submitted your guess, that was doing something on the blockchain. You were using an Alchemy Modular account to submit an operation. Um, so modular accounts are a little different from the traditional accounts you might be used to. The modular account is a smart contract account that represents you. Okay, so time's up. Looks like some players didn't get their submissions in. I hope that wasn't because of yeah.
Winner gets this box.
Yeah, that's right. If you win the game, you get the swag box.
It's pretty cool, good quality.
Yeah, it's got some really comfy things in there. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So several people have revealed their guesses for the round here. Okay, there we go. Things already moving a little bit more smoothly than the last one. Okay, so that was end of round 1. So what happened here? So everybody who made their guesses gets to see the results here. So for example, against this AM player here, I now know that their secret word has an A in the second spot, a Y in the last spot, and none of these other letters appear in the word at all. Or for example, the O over here in GDG's answer, that means there's an O in the answer, it's not in that spot. Everyone got points based on how good their guesses are. I'm gonna move into the next round, gotta make some more guesses. So we do have different opponents this round. Let's see. Oh, poor Codes McCabe looks like got no points, but a lot of guesses against him. You do get more points if you make good guesses. The object of the game is ultimately to have the highest score. So I'm going to go after the most points that I can. That's likely going to be guessing a word against Code McCabe over here. Let's see what we can do. So we know it starts with P, ends in E, and it has an O and an R somewhere in the middle. That actually still leaves quite a few possible answers. Let's see what it could be.
Phil, I have a question.
Hmm?
So why is using smart contract account cool for this game?
Yeah.
What's the benefit?
What's the benefit of smart contract accounts? Let me make my guess and then I'll answer that one. Let's see here. Yeah, so another thing that's useful when you're thinking about your guess is to think about what letters could get points on multiple opponents. So for example, for me, none of these opponents have had a B guessed against them yet. So I'm actually going to make this my guess. I think it has a decent chance of getting a high score. Here we go.
Check.
Yeah, let's check the chat. All right. So the question we got from Dennis over here is, why is it cool to have this on chain? Why not do this off chain? There's a couple things you get about having a chain. By the way, check out all the swag while we wait. Yeah, isn't that nice? Isn't it arranged nicely? It's so neat. Yeah, I could never arrange something that neat. I'd have trouble with that. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Wow, noint. That is a fancy word. I wonder who made that. My word was wrong. Okay, but it looks like we got some points. We're ready to move into the next round. Okay, so let's see who our opponents are this time. Yeah. What we got here, so okay, so one thing you can do when you're making your guesses is try to target one of your opponents in particular. Sometimes it could be a good idea if someone has a close score to you to try to take them out first. But other than that, you might just want to go for wherever you think you can get the most points. I have a good feeling about this one. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little tough, actually. Man. Huh. Okay. Yeah, this game does take a bit of concentration sometimes. It can be tough to think of something on the fly. Let's go with maybe give it a try. Yeah. Yeah. So once again, the question is, why is it interesting to have this on chain? So there's a couple things. So one is that this is totally trustless. So we could do this in a traditional way. You would make an online game, just have a centralized server somewhere that's handling all the answers. The thing is, though, you can never trust that the person on the other end isn't abusing their authority in some way. Like, let's say we had a centralized server and I were doing this contest with you. I could be cheating to make my friend win. Like, I could make it right when you're about to make a good guess, I disconnect you. Or I could mess around with things on the back end to make it so that you get less points than you should. But because this is on chain, you can see the smart contract. You know everyone's telling the truth. You might think that doesn't necessarily matter for a for fun game like this, but you can imagine situations where that sort of thing would be really relevant.
Oh,
Whoa, check it out. We got lucky. We got someone's full word here. Brace was a nice guess too. So kudos to whoever made that one. Let's see. Let's move on to the next round. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's see.
oh man.
Yeah, so it looks like Toxic Shroom unfortunately lost their first life. You can see that they've only got one life left, and they're starting with no guesses against them. So now we have some choices. We could try to get a lot of points by guessing something against this blank slate player here, or we can go with something that will work over here. What do we think? I actually have a decent guess against this one. I'm going to go with. Seems like it could work. Those are good letters too. They have a good chance of getting points against Toxic Shroom, so I'm happy with this guess. I'm going to put it in. But yeah, trustlessness is fantastic. So another aspect of this is because it's on chain, other people can start building things off of it and not have to depend on me being reliable with my servers. So if somebody wanted to build a betting website, not that I recommend betting, it's a terrible idea. But I do feel like if you're here because you're in blockchain, there's a decent chance you have a reasonably high risk tolerance in the first place. Maybe you do want to get some bets on a game. So someone could build that. Someone could build a leaderboard that combines this and other blockchain games. The nice thing about building on blockchain is that people can build on top of each other's work. You can do things like that. And then one other thing that's nice is this game is going to be up forever because it's on the blockchain. If I were running a centralized server, then one day maybe I stop paying my bill, maybe I go personally bankrupt, I lose all my money in the next crypto crash. If this were on my own personal server, I'd probably shut it down and then you would never be able to play again. But because it's on blockchain, you can play forever. Yeah, maybe this front end would go down. The front end, I'm just serving off of AWS. But even if the front end went down, you could put up your own front end. You'd be able to play the game just as well as you do now. And as a dev, I find that really attractive. It's nice to think that I built something that will last forever. Like no government's going to shut this down. Like if there's some government that decides I'm a wanted criminal, they still won't be able to stop this game. Oh man, I got lucky with my guess. That worked out really well. Okay, moving on to the next round.
When did you build this game?
Yeah, I built this during the Alchemy Hackathon. Thanks for asking, Dennis. Yeah, so I work at Alchemy. They build really awesome blockchain infrastructure. There's a good chance you know that if you followed a link through Alchemy's social media accounts to get there. A couple months ago, we had a hackathon where everyone got a chance to build things onto the blockchain. Hold on, let's make a guess, and I'll talk more about the hackathon. I should be checking the chat. Nothing. Yeah, definitely speak up in chat if you have other questions too, by the way. Whoa, not Danica has a pretty high score here. I don't really know what to do with this round. I might just make a good solid first round guess to the sort of thing that has a good chance at hitting a lot of different letters. I don't know. Let's go with Pearl this time. All right, yeah, so Alchemy Hackathon. So I love hackathons. They've always been one of my favorite things. So I went into this project specifically because I wanted to try something with zero knowledge proofs. The way I approached hackathon was, I want to do something with zero knowledge proofs. Let's think of something that lets us use zero knowledge proofs. And I came up with this idea. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny how you get to this idea when you're trying to think of stuff with zero knowledge proofs. My first idea was just one-on-one Wordle, like one person hides a word, the other person guesses it. And you can use zero knowledge proofs for that. The thing is, you don't really need zero knowledge proofs to do that, though. You could implement that if you just had the person hiding the word just tell the matches based on honor system to the guesser. And then at the end of the game, they'd reveal their word. And you go back and verify that everything they said earlier about the matches was telling the truth. It's that's a little disappointing. You don't need zero knowledge proofs for that. Zero knowledge is way too heavy duty machinery to build something like that. But that's how I got the idea of doing this with multiplayer. Because if you try to do that same sort of thing in multiplayer, then well, yes, if somebody's lying, you can catch them at the end of the game. The issue is that by the end of the game, it's far too late. Even though you've caught them out as lying, they've already screwed up the game for a whole bunch of other people, and that's no good. So in a multiplayer game, you do need zero knowledge proofs to keep the game fair and interesting, and that's how we ended up with this. I'm really lucky that the game turned out to actually be kind of fun, at least in my opinion. Hope the people playing agree. Okay, I bet we can make a good guess here. Let's see. It's not a word. Maybe that. How we feel about that one. Let's just think things through. Yep, that'll be my guess. See how it works out. Yeah, so came up with this idea, the idea for this game during Hack Week because it's a good justification for doing zero knowledge proofs. Then it turns out it works really well with modular accounts. So for anyone who joined in late, this is built using modular accounts. That's something that Alchemy built and released this week. It's a special smart contract account that's built according to the 6900 standard for having smart contract accounts that you can use plugins to customize the functionality of. This has been a long effort of a lot of people who have been working really hard. I think it's great. It works really well for this app. Just to remind.
Wait, so modular account is a short for modular smart contract account?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so modular account is one particular smart contract account. So smart contract accounts are what you get when you use account abstraction. It covers any kind of account that is based with a smart contract instead of being controlled by a single private key the way your old school accounts you'd have, like the ones you get from MetaMask. Yeah, so the modular account is one particular implementation of a smart contract account. Alchemy built it over the last probably like 6+ months. There's a lot of thought that's gone into it. There's a lot of features along with the standard that it's implementing, ERC 6900. It has notions of permissions and security. So we've emphasized in the design ways to make it secure, to make sure that when you're installing plugins, you have a sense of what those plugins are going to try to do. You can make sure it helps protect your account from malicious plugins. So if I have an account and I want to customize its functionality, I do have to be really careful as I customize its functionality. I'm sorry, Toxic Shroom, looks like you lost your second life there. Better luck next game, maybe. All right, what is happening here?
Wait, so modular account is like, it's still the same, the 4337 that Vitalik like talked about a lot. It's still compatible to that standard, right?
Yep, yeah, that is right. So there's two ERCs at play here, as Dennis brought up. There's ERC 4337, which is the account abstraction standard. So that's what makes it possible to have the standardized system for having accounts that are backed by smart contracts instead of external users' private key. Let's see. Okay, what are we going to do here? Oh wow, Vladislav is doing really well. Nice work. Still got both your lives and plenty of points. Let's see. Oh man, I got to guess fast here. Let's just snipe this guy, huh?
How should the prize winner or like the game winner contact?
Wait, geez, what is this word? Oh, 1 second. I'll just set up this. Well, just get a guess in. Oh, yeah. How will we contact us? We'll deal with the contact info after the game. Yeah. I'll have to fiddle around with my front end for that. I had a page set up where you could claim your prize. It's probably the commit for putting that in that broke the first game we played. So I'll make sure we have a way to do that. There's ways that we can verify your identity to give you your prize if you did well. Let's see what happened this round. All right, new round. Right. All right, Dennis, you want to help think of a word this round? What do we think we got? Bet we could. Wow, there's so many guesses made against AM here. We got to take out AM. They have too many points.
ADY.
Okay. Okay, so
There are 2 A's.
this is
Candy. No.
Oh man,
It's already done.
Yeah. Oh, this is tricky. So whoever guessed daddy, that was a really good idea. Those sorts of words are really hard to guess. Oof. Wait, we got to do something about this player. They're way too strong.
Caddy.
No, we know there's not a D in the third spot. In fact, there's only one D because of that guess over there. The guess of daddy up above, we can see. Oh man, this is tough. Could it be ooh, I know.
Body?
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't say it out loud for in case people are listening in while playing, but yeah, that is I guess we can talk about it when time runs out. Actually, sorry, that was on me. I did ask you for help guessing the word, but
UIR.
Yeah, I will say if that is the word AM, hats off to you. That was a really tricky one. Let's see how it's going. Okay, yeah. So these modular accounts. Yeah. So the idea behind the modular account. Yeah. So there's the two standards at play here. There's the 4337 standard. That's what lets us have smart contract accounts in the first place. And then there is also someone else guessed it too. Nice. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, body. Nice word. And then the second one is 6900. This is a standard for smart contract accounts with plugins for customizing their behavior. It's a really good way to have a standard in the ecosystem where lots of people can contribute building their own plugins. You can imagine someday where there's a huge library of different plugins you can install. And you could say, oh, I want this functionality for my account. Like I want to lock down my grandfather's NFT. I can go find a plugin that does that, install it in my account. And I got that one piece of functionality that I want. You could have plugins that build on top of each other. You can have lots of different things. Sky's the limit there. But for all that sort of thing to work, you really need to have some standard for how these plugins are going to interact with each other. You're going to want to have a system to make sure that badly written plugins or malicious plugins can't totally brick your account unless you intentionally disable all the safeguards.
It's kind of like on iPhone, you go to App Store to download different apps, and there's a security system that checks for malicious apps or viruses.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. You can think of it as like when you're installing apps on your phone and they request permissions. Hold on, I need to make a guess. Oh, geez, this one's hard too. I don't have time. What on earth? I don't have time. That's a terrible guess. Yeah. Yeah, you could think about it like that. You got your when you use apps on your iPhone, they ask you questions like, do you want to give this app permission to access your photos? Yeah. Do you want it to have access to your camera? And that's an important part of the security. It's making it so that if I just install some random app, like I want to install a Flappy Bird knockoff, like I install Floppy Bird instead or something like that, I want to make sure that if the developer is actually like an evil hacker, that it's not going to be able to, hijack all my contacts, start spamming them with, ads for crappy mobile games. Oh wow, nice guess.
Wait, just like how you can anytime like uninstall the app or like remove the permission, can you also do that with the plugins then?
Eliminated. Yeah, so the way 6900 works at the moment is that when you install a plugin, it requests permissions at install time, and those permissions can never be changed. So if you want to revoke permissions, what you would do is uninstall the plugin and get a different version that requests fewer permissions.
So it's like a plugin, you can always like install it and uninstall it back if you don't want it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can definitely always uninstall your plugins. It is possible for plugins to restrict uninstallation, restrict the uninstall process. So it is possible to have a plugin that can make it so it can't be uninstalled except under certain conditions. That is necessary for certain things that you would want to build. So for example, if I'm making a plugin that locks down access, again, to my grandfather's NFT, I need to make sure that the plugin locking down my grandfather's NFT cannot itself be uninstalled easily, because then someone who wants to sell the NFT can uninstall my plugin and then sell the NFT. So it's possible to make it hard to uninstall a plugin, but that in itself is a permission that the plugin would have to request. So the plugin would have to say, I would like permission to make myself hard to uninstall. And you would consider that when you're installing the plugin.
No.
Yeah. All right. So it looks like I've been taken out this game. I definitely will say fair play to whoever did that. Yeah, let's see. We'll let the game play out for a little bit.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, what can you do with plugins? Like, for example, like, let's say, just like how, like, iOS developers, they can build iOS apps and, like, release my app, to the App Store and other people can download. I can, like, make a plugin and other people can also install it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so the idea here is that what I would hope to see in the future is lots of people developing lots of different plugins, and there'll be a big library out in the world where you can pick out which ones you want. We could see this coming up in different ways. We might see some people building plugin stores where you can view a lot of different plugins. Maybe a storefront could decide it only wants to display plugins that have been vetted and they believe are secure or work together well.
So what are like examples of like these plugins
Right,
or
yeah.
apps?
Yeah, so I gave some examples earlier. So you could do things like I want to have a plugin that says that I just use a simple password for small transactions, like if I'm going to the store to buy coffee. But if I want to transfer like $5,000 at once, I need to use a secure key that I keep in a different location. Another example would be recovering my secret key. So if I forget my secret key, I could have a plugin that I set up earlier that lets me recover the key under certain circumstances. Maybe there's something like I have several friends that have portions of the key that can work together to restore it. That's called social recovery. Maybe it could be there's a third party that holds on to the key where, with my permission, they're able to restore it. Different users can decide what kind of functionality they want for restoring their keys.
So for example, can there be like some kind of a like dollar cost averaging, like this DeFi vault like plugin that makes my account like like have those like automated functions that will like make more money for me?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good example too. That's one I didn't mention earlier. So all the things I've been talking about so far are things that restrict the way your account can be called. Well, not all of them, but many of them. But another thing you could do with a plugin is loosen the restrictions on when your account can be called. And there's some interesting possibilities there. I can make it where...
Thank you, Paulo.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Paulo. Really appreciate it. Yeah, unfortunately, one of the things that I was trying to get in as a fix before this round.
Oh my god, AM might beat you.
It's true. Yeah, this is not looking great for us. So, yeah, when we give out a prize, we will give out the prize to the highest score from someone outside of Alchemy who's playing. Once again, you can see this prize box. It's a beautiful prize box put together by our amazing swag team. Yeah, at the end of this game, we'll figure out the highest player on the leaderboard who's not actually an Alchemy employee, and
can also give you
T-shirts.
Get sent
to you.
Yeah, lots of
give out T-shirts too. Let's see. Yeah, so one thing that's unfortunate that I was trying to get fixed right before I presented, which is possibly the thing that broke the initial game. This game over screen doesn't continue to update as the game goes on, unfortunately. That is a bug. I have a fix in mind, but it's not in this build. So from my view here, it's hard to tell when everyone else has finished their game. Actually, I have an idea. I know what I can do. We will manually modify our game storage. Let's see. I'm showing this on screen. Okay, actually. I actually, that's funny. What I just did there is, yeah, so I slipped up with my security a little bit. I showed my session key in the browser console there. But this is like one of the examples of how the session key plugin protects my account. So if there are any eagle eye watchers there who took a screenshot, they could have stolen my session key right now. My session key is in fact just in the browser storage, so it's a lot easier to get to than something that would have been in MetaMask. But even if you did get my session key, all that would let you do is make moves in Worth of Words. You would not be able to use it to get into anything else into this account. So actually what I'll do right now is I'm just going to log out of my account. And
Oh, wait, that's why you weren't like signing all the different transactions, or
yeah,
because
that's
every
right.
move you said it's a transaction, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So that's actually a big thing. If you did this with a traditional crypto account, then every time I did anything in this game, it would pop up like MetaMask asking,
Oh.
like, do you want to confirm this transaction? It would basically grind the game to a halt. It would make things super slow.
Wait, so is it also done by a plugin, this session key functionality?
Yeah, so for the accounts used in this demo, we have 2 plugins installed.
Is there an SDK for creating account using passkey?
Nice. Thanks. Thank you, whoever's on the Alchemy account for answering
Yeah,
that.
Alchemy, or whoever. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you should
Uh,
check out our
account kit
yeah.
and
I'll post the link. Oh, you got
the
thanks. Yeah,
AASDK.
there you are. / account kit. Excellent. Yep.
So it's called session key plugin.
Yep.
Then
Yeah. So the 2 plugins in use here, there's one is called the multi-owner plugin, and the other is called the session key plugin. So the multi-owner plugin is the one that actually has full control over the accounts happening here. So if someone got the owner key, they'd be able to make this account do whatever they wanted. Like they could uninstall the other plugins, they could transfer away any money. I mean, there's no money in this account
also like
because
multiple people can install it, or like basically can own it. They can become owner.
Yeah, that is a possibility. You can configure your multi-owner account to have multiple owners on it, which is already something cool. It's something you can't really do on a traditional account. For our use case here, our multi-owner account is just having a single owner, but you can use the same plugin whether it's one owner or multiple ones. Yeah, second plugin we got is the session key plugin. So that's the one we've been talking about here. So I can create keys that only have the ability to play Worth of Words and nothing else. And because those keys can't do very much damage, I can just keep them in local storage on my browser. Normally, keeping your private key in local storage would be incredibly insecure. You wouldn't want to do that. But here I'm not too worried, even if someone steals my session key. Yeah, and worst that can happen is they could make me look like a really bad Worth of Words player. Yeah.
Wait, so account kit, other than the SDK, what is account kit?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of parts to it. Actually, one thing that I haven't talked about yet is the gas manager. That's another big piece that we get from account kit here. Yeah, so again, in traditional crypto, when you use an externally owned account, yeah, let's get some. Yeah, so in traditional crypto, when you use your MetaMask account, every single operation you send, it's got to be you, this person sending the operation, need to pay for the operation using your own money to pay for gas. And that's actually another gigantic barrier for anyone to get into the space. It means that before I can do anything on the blockchain, I would need to go to, say, Coinbase and go probably break up my credit card, or maybe even have to identify myself to get access to crypto. That is that part sucks. Like no one likes doing that. One of the things you can get from account abstraction is the ability for someone to pay for the operation other than the person sending the operation. So actually, Alchemy here is spotting everyone for the gas they need to play this game. It's not very much gas, so the point is less that you're saving money and more that it's cutting out the step of needing to go get money before you play. So if you were playing this with your own money, it would cost roughly 5 cents per player per game, which is not all that bad. I feel like I wouldn't mind paying
Oh,
that
so
too much.
not only that, I'm like skipping all the signing, the transactions, all the gas fee is being subsidized right now.
Yeah, right now Alchemy is subsidizing the gas, but the gas fees are really low, so it's not like Alchemy is being ridiculously generous here. Also, this is on a test net, so the gas fees aren't real money, but
Oh,
even if they were, it would not cost very much to subsidize the game. Yeah.
hmm.
Let me see. So I do want to make sure I figure out who the winner of this game is. So let me quickly futz around with my storage to figure out who that is. Uh, okay, actually, this might take a moment.
Oh, and then I think someone asked the question about if there's an SDK to create a modular account using passkey.
Yeah, so that was answered. Account Kit and AA SDK is part of that. So
Yeah.
actually, Account Kit.
However,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, actually, uh, pass not yet passkey, but it's coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Yeah.
It's coming soon. Um,
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I can identify the winner of the game. So, okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm manually editing. Oh, okay. I know what went wrong here. That's awkward. Yeah.
so account kit. I mean, you mentioned 6900 standard and the SDK.
There we go. Yeah, it looks like the game's ended. Okay, so let's see how it went. So we got yeah.
AM.
All right. So I do want to figure out the whichever player here is the highest score not at Alchemy. Um, yeah. Oh wow, that was really close. AM, good game right there.
Oh man,
Yeah,
10 points.
I believe AM is someone at Alchemy. I forget who that is. Is GDG. Congrats GDG for being the last one standing. Who's GDG? I don't know. Who is this?
We have it all deployed. So I mean, there are different smart contract account options available on ASDK. So among the different options being offered from ASDK, yeah, all the the factory contracts are deployed, and the SDK is also integrated for creating accounts using the SDK easily.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so for this for this for Worth of Words here, we're using um, yeah, we're using an existing factory contract from Alchemy. I didn't need to make any tweaks to be able to deploy that. If you want to make your own factory so you can deploy accounts that have certain plugins pre-installed, for example, that's very much something you can do, but you don't need to. It's entirely possible to get everything you need from using the factory that Alchemy already deployed. Yeah. Okay, so GDG, if you're there, I think you might have been the one who's going to earn the swag box. So yeah, if you want, you can. Let me see. Yeah,
Actually, can you hear me, V Phil?
Yeah.
I actually know who GDG is, so we can contact him and outside of this and get him the swag box. Congrats, GDG.
Excellent. Okay, amazing. Well, congratulations.
Oh yeah, this is Alchemy University. Cody knows.
Nice. Let's see. Okay, in that case, these are probably Alchemy people. Give it to Vladislav, I believe. Is Arjun? Is that one of us? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it might be. Okay. Vladislav, if you're still in chat, we want to give you some swag. Anyway, really appreciate everyone who joined to play. Yeah, really sorry about that mishap in the first game there. I'll figure out what went wrong. It's I know that's a real bummer to show up to a demo and have to sit around where someone fiddles with the fix, but glad we managed to get a game in eventually. Okay, yeah, I think we might call it around here. We've been here for an hour now. Yeah, definitely feel free to go and play this game by yourself. You can jump in at any time, start games, play with your friends. Thanks, GD. Thank you, GDG. I appreciate you. All right, I'm going to sign off now. Once again, I'm David Phillipson. I'm DPhil. Here's Dennis with me.
Bye.
Yeah, hope you get a chance to check out Modular Account. Have a good night.